Hello everybody. We are finally back with some regional content. It's been a long couple months of not being able to bowl any PBA regional events or anything like that, but we're finally back. Today we are in San Jose, California for a PBA doubles event. They have this one every year and you have to have one person over 50 and one person under 50 on a team. And it's been quite the journey trying to get a partner. I had a guy whose name was Dave Bowles, ironically, who also has probably the most impressive 900 series, I think, in history, because he did it at a PBA event. 300, 300, 300, but on 3 different pairs on a pattern. So I feel like that's pretty damn impressive. Regardless, he ended up dropping out because of an injury, and so I had asked 11 people after him, and everybody was either injured or they already had plans for the weekend. I decided to ask one more person. It's a man named Lee Patterson, who's a friend of ours. We see him at a lot of bowling tournaments and things like that. His wife runs a bunch of tournaments in our area, and he agreed to bowl. So we're gonna be bowling with him today, and I'm just happy I was able to find a partner, and we're gonna have a good time. It's gonna be 8 games of qualifying today, and they're gonna be cutting to the top 16, who will come back for tomorrow's match play. So really looking forward to competing again. I'm gonna head inside now, watch a little bit of A squad, because we're B squad today, which we start at 2 p.m. My buddy Michael is bowling on A squad, so I'm gonna try to get some shots of him, and let's get inside. We'll see you in there. You look like you could use a pick-me-up. Take it. Take the drink. You need it. Take the drink! Michael's been bleeding out of his nose for like 10 minutes now. Who punched you in the face?
Myself.
You were going ham and then you beat yourself up somehow. Oh, here's the man, the myth, the legend, Lee Patterson. Thanks for bowling with me today, filling in last minute.
Appreciate it, Forrest. Appreciate the call. Looking forward to it.
Me too. It's going to be interesting because it's the first time ever that it's just going to be the 2 of us on the pair. We're not crossing with anybody else because I think a team dropped out. So we're going to be bowling faster than everybody, but we also have the lanes to ourselves. So it should be fun.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
All right. All right, one game in the books. This pace is super fast, which I like because only 2 of us on the pair. I shot a pretty good game with the Ion Max 250 and my partner 187. And honestly, he grinded that out. It was his first 6 frames. He hadn't had a strike. So to be around 190 when that happens is all you can ask for, really. So we're sitting in a good spot, though. I'm feeling really good right now physically. Other than the fact that it's pretty hot in here, like I'm flowing pretty good. Ion Max looked really good on that corner on the wall, but now we're coming to this corner. So it could play totally different, but we'll see how it goes. So on to game 2, let's get it. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention is that we're bowling on the steel smith pattern, which is 42 feet. And A squad scores were insanely high. So I'm expecting this squad to be pretty similar. Cut's probably gonna be over 220 average though for both my partner and I. So we need to definitely keep that high scoring pace going. Oh yeah. Well, kind of annoying game 2. We had Lee bowled a better game that game, 203. I kind of got wrecked by a string strikes on a pocket 710, which was super annoying. And in the 10th frame, probably threw the best shot of the game, slammed the 7 pin, and then lost my spare ball off my hand. Like it just slipped off my ring finger, missed it in the 10th for 197. So we're still sitting in a good spot. Scores are definitely outrageous still, but we have a really good look. So we're just gonna move on to the next game. I'm probably gonna ball down slightly from my Ion Max now, and hopefully we could put up a big one. If we could shoot like a 470 together next game, 500, it'd shoot us right back up to where we need to be. So on to game 3, let's get it. 3 games in the book. Had another really good game. Ball changed down to my ion solid, which I don't throw too often, but it's kind of ideal for situations like this. So I brought it out and it looked really good. Managed to shoot 232 that game. Fortunately, Lee's kind of trying to find the right ball right now. He bowled a 150. So we still got plenty of time left. We got 5 games left, but we definitely need to pick up the scoring pace as a team. That's the important thing. So we got to both be shooting, regularly over 220. Overall, I'm feeling really good. I'm having a ton of wrist pain still, unfortunately. That has not gotten better despite taking 2 months off of bowling. So still got some issue going on in there, but luckily it's not affecting my performance at all. I got it double taped and we're making do with what we have, but we're gonna move on. Hopefully we can put up a big one, the 2 of us together, and start making a run at the cut, because it's not top 16, it's top 12, and they pay 17 spots. So we got to pick up the pace and start putting up some big ones. So let's get it. All right, with that, we are officially at the halfway point, and we just put up our best game together so far. I put up a 222, Lee put up 233, so he finally found the right ball, found his groove. That's what we need to do going forward. Unfortunately, I had a brain fart in the 6th frame and bowled on the wrong lane, threw a strike, realized it afterwards, bowled on the correct lane, and then 10 pins, or else that would have been a 490 set for us that game instead of 455. So 455 is still very good, but that was just totally my bad. Wasn't paying attention properly and bowled on the wrong lane. It happens, but it's stupid, because that wrecked my string of strikes and everything. But oh well, we're gonna move on. Absolutely will take 455, and we got 4 more games to go. We got only uphill from here, so let's get it. All right, quick update after game 5. We just hit definitely the trickiest pair of the day. The classic middle of the block transition game. All those scores have dropped dramatically all across the house. So that's usually pretty typical for patterns like this until they develop. But Lee grinded our butts off that game. Lee shot 185, I shot 187. And I was so lost in that right lane. Figured out the left lane. Right lane, I tried several different balls. If I'd move left, it would hook early. If I'd move right, it would never read the lane. So it's just one of those really bad pairs. And I'm honestly happy to get out of there with both 180s. We didn't get into too much trouble. So still got 3 games left. Hopefully you see some better pairs coming down the stretch. And if we shoot 460, 470 the next 3 games in a row as a team, we got a chance. So got to stay with it and bring those scores up. Let's get it. Right now, I'm sitting at plus 88 after 5, and Lee is minus 42. So that puts us around plus 40. Still got plenty of time left. I put up some big games though, so let's get it. All right, quick update. After game 6, we just had Lee strike out for 221. I had honestly a really good look that game. I left a 7-pin in the 9th frame and missed it. I cannot believe my spare ball hooked that much throwing a 7-pin. That was actually super annoying. Shot 195, so still went plus for the game. I'm sitting at 83 over and Lee is at 21 under. So I think it's probably going to take both of us to shoot 500 the next 2 games as a team, which is not impossible if you hit a couple good pairs. It's absolutely doable, but we really need some big ones here if you have a chance. So The Ion Solid still looks pretty good, but I'm probably going to end up balling down, I would imagine, to either my IQ Ruby or my Typhoon. So we will see how the next pair treats us. Hopefully, shoot some big ones. Let's get it. All right, we just wrapped up game 7. I was able to strike out that game for 223. Unfortunately, Lee shot 176, kind of struggled. Tim Kegels here. What are your scores thus far, shooter?
Happy birthday.
It is his birthday. Happy birthday.
+3.
Grinding.
Yeah.
Stop throwing your thing.
No, it looks good.
You're a rat.
I'm rolling really bad.
Maybe it's because you're throwing your thing.
What?
It's because you're throwing your thing.
No, it's not. I was doing the wrong thing with urethane for the first 4 games.
Whatever. But anyways, that put me at plus 106 for the day, or so far, and Lee is minus 44, so I was doing the math, and if him and I both shoot 300 our last game, that would put us at around plus 250, which would be enough for a check. So that is now, we are hyper-focused on that, and we are gonna try our best to make that happen. Had a really good look that game, so hopefully our next pair treats us just as kindly, and we string a ton of strikes. Appreciate you if you've watched this far in the video. Last game, let's do it. All right, well, that concludes the tournament. Honestly, had a fantastic look the last game with the ion. That was like the ball of the day for me. It's funny because if I'm being honest, I didn't overly like that ball when I first threw it, and I've never really been able to throw it in a situation like this, and I threw it for 70% of the tournament today. It looked really, really good. I had a great look the last game and stoned a dirty 9-pin in the 10th frame for 226. So that put me at plus 132 for the day. Honestly, super respectable day of bowling. I think I only missed 2 makeables today, so I can't really hang my head on that. My partner Lee, he ended up finishing at minus 58, so that put us at plus 76 as a team. That's not going to get us a check, unfortunately, but you know what? He hasn't bowled a regional in 17 years, so I'm actually as proud of him for sticking through at the 8 games, and that kind of gave him the itch to want to compete again. So we had a really good time together. We have really great chemistry, so I'd always prefer bowling with someone I have good chemistry with than, you know, someone I don't. So I appreciate you all watching if you've made it this far in the video. It feels so good to be back out and competing again. We got several more coming up pretty soon, so stay tuned for those. I'm going to finish up the night bowl in the Pro-Am. It should be a lot of fun. Get to meet some of the local youth, see what the talent's all about around here, and grab some dinner after and head home. So thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.